Hi and a warm welcome to this first introduction video about Propr, the latest startup in the SwissBorg ecosystem. My name is Mischa and I'm super happy that you're here with me to learn more about this beautiful project. As the attention span of our society is decreasing and you need a strong reason why you should watch a 15 minutes plus video, I'll start with a TLDR, why am I extremely bullish on Propr. First of all, Propr enters a fast-growing industry, especially in crypto-native markets. Second, Propr solves major industry problems by addressing the lack of transparency and poor alignment between prop firms and users. Through the token, the community gets ownership and a voice. Propr also has a really strong business model. It already generated more than 100k in revenue within the first 3 weeks. That's not bad at all. Then there's the underfarmed airdrop opportunity. Depending on the valuation at TGE, it is likely that you receive more back in Propr token that you originally paid for the challenge, and that's just wild. Let that sink in. Next point, the token flywheel. 14% of the revenue generated is used to buy back Propr token from the market, while the remaining 16% is reinvested into growth and expansion, pushing Propr constantly forward. With the possibility to easily integrate autonomous trading bots, Propr opens a huge and growing market. Then, Propr is built on Hyperliquid and the biggest prop firm on it so far. Hyperliquid is slowly overtaking traditional markets and Propr is designed to grow alongside it. Then, the polymarket integration is planned and will expand the user base even more. And here it gets really interesting. Propr is much more than just a prop firm. Here it gets interesting. Propr is much more than just a prop firm. It is building the operation system for modern prop firms. Most of the industry still relies on outdated infrastructure, while Propr has built a custom stack on Hyperliquid. Leading prop firms have already reached out. That is huge. Then, additionally, Propr is currently in the middle of a private VC round. And you know, it's always best to get in before these kind of deals are announced. Last but not least, the team behind the project is solid, delivers and knows how to build products and is also backed by SwissBorg. Sounds interesting, and I might even have missed some points. I hope I gave you now enough reasons to stick around for a more detailed analysis, and I will also show you how you can get 7.5% cashback on your purchases on the platform. With that said, let's go! The goal of this video is to give you a solid overview what a prop firm actually does and why the current system is broken, followed by Propr solution. Then we will talk about how you can qualify for the juicy airdrop. I'll quickly touch upon the token flywheel, how to best get started and what else you should keep in mind. Then we will speak about how you qualify for the juicy airdrop. We'll quickly touch upon the token flywheel, how to best get started and what else you should keep in mind. If you decide to try the platform, you'll find my referral link in the description below or also here on the slide. By using this link, I offer you a 7.5% cashback paid out once every month for at least 1 year. You spend $200 on a challenge, I refund you with $15. Just send me your username and wallet address via X, Telegram or email and we make this happen. A final disclaimer, Propr is an extremely new project, having only launched a few weeks ago in mid-April. This means the situation can change quickly and the content of this video may eventually become out of date also quickly. In the description, you find the relevant links to fact-check the sources, and it's also important, this video is no financial advice. I don't have such a training and should only be seen as educational content. Do your own risk analysis and your own research by consulting additional sources. With that said, let's get started. And before we continue talking about Propr with a R at the end, the project, we first need to better understand what a prop firm, so the business model, actually is. Prop firm stands short for proprietary trading firm. Simply put, these are companies that provide their capital to traders so they can trade on financial markets. This allows traders to open large positions and potentially realize significant profits without risking their own money. The business model is straightforward. Traders pay a one-time activation fee for an account and must then pass a challenge to prove that they can trade profitably. If skilled traders pass this test, the company provides them with capital and in return they take a share on the profits of the traders. In other words, prop firms have two main revenue streams. One, the account fees for the challenges, and second, the profit sharing when traders are successful. Let's talk about the trend, clearly pointing in one direction. Prop firm offers are becoming increasingly popular, and online searches, as you see here on the slides, have increased in recent years and retail trading is booming. Crypto influencers and also more accessible platforms are creating millions and millions of traders every year. Some of them use prop firms so they don't have to trade with their own capital. The proprietary trading industry market already accounts for more than 20 billion and is rapidly growing. The market is expected to grow by over 10% annually through 2032, with crypto being the fastest growing segment. However, this growth also comes with setbacks and questionable actors, which brings us to the problem. Prop firms are broken. Traditional prop firms operate like a black box. Zero transparency, zero accountability, unclear execution, and no alignment of interest with the traders. In fact, these firms often benefit when traders fail. This is also reflected in the fact that 93% of all accounts fail the initial challenge. The rules are often designed against the traders, and since prop firms operate off-chain behind closed doors, they are difficult to verify. In 2024 alone, over 80 prop firms had to shut down, and users in some cases lost their entire deposits. To summarize, on one hand side, there is a rapidly growing demand, but on the other side, there is a fundamental trust issue in the sector. Propr was developed to close exactly this gap by eliminating those problems. As mentioned in the beginning, is Propr the first prop firm built publicly on Hyperliquid. Everything is transparent and visible. Fees, spread, how many challenges have been purchased, the pass rate, what payouts have been made, and the time it took to deliver, the overall revenue situation, and much more is accessible under the transparency page online. Propr is built for trader and trader friendly and offers strong conditions. No consistency rules, no profit limits, no time restriction, fast on-chain payouts in USDC directly to your wallet, and Propr also supports all kinds of trading styles, including the integration of trading bots. More to that later. Additionally, 10% of Propr's revenue is used to buy back Hype, the token from Hyperliquid, from the market and distribute it afterwards to top point holders. But most importantly, Propr's interests are aligned with the interest of its traders. If the traders win, Propr wins. If Propr wins, the trader wins. But how does this work? Through the future token Propr and its connected flywheel mechanism. By holding the Propr token, you own a share of the company and participate in its success, while also benefiting from various other advantages. The idea is clear. Users contributing to Propr's success should also benefit of its success. Clear, right? Propr has no shareholders who needs to be paid dividends. All profits flow directly back into the project. 60% into platform growth and 40% into token buybacks and burns. This reduces the token supply on one hand, while maintaining a strong and consistent demand on the other hand. If the project evolves as projected, buybacks could already in 2028 reach 20 million per year. And that's quite crazy if you think about it, that the seed round was closed at a valuation of 17.5 million. As mentioned, the token has additional benefits and is at the center of the platform. It grants you voting rights through governance, gives you access to advanced trading features in the app, gives you discounts, and will also be used for ecosystem payments within the Propr platform. A large share of the token, in total 45.5%, will be distributed via an airdrop to the community and the users of the product. This is where things get really interesting. But before diving deeper into the airdrop, the question is, where does all the revenue come from to fund growth and also the buybacks? Well, Propr generates revenue from multiple sources, creating a sustainable and scalable business model. The primary income is from the sale of challenges and the 20% profit share from traders. In the first 3 weeks, this was already 100k and quite impressive in my opinion. Then SaaS trading tools are another revenue source. Propr has already now built over 10 highly effective tools that trader can use to improve their performance in trading. They are currently for free, but at a later stage will provide a recurring income for the project. As mentioned in the TLDR at the beginning, Propr aims to become much more than just the on-chain prop firm. It wants to build the best operating system for other prop firms too. So this means new prop firms could rent and implement Propr's trading infrastructure, and this will generate, of course, an additional income. The business case here, most prop firms use MetaTrader 4, which is an outdated software compared to Propr's custom Hyperliquid and soon also Polymarket stack. Industry-leading prop firms have already reached out to Propr. Well, I'll let you do your own conclusions. But this will be another strong income source for the project. Additionally, volume rebates from Hyperliquid serve as another revenue stream via their builder codes, which incentivizes projects to build on Hyperliquid and use their underlying infrastructure. Finally, since the platform is built on Hyperliquid, as I've been repeating myself over and over again, this generates trading volume, and this volume can potentially turn into an airdrop of hype tokens that could additionally increase the revenue of Propr. Hyperliquid's first airdrop is well renowned and the season 3 has been teased. So let's see. Accordingly to the pitch deck, revenue is projected to grow strongly. In 2026, so this year, revenue should be around 2.5 million. Next year it should already be 15 million, and in 2028 already be at 48 millions. We will see how this projection will age. Another reason why Propr is, in my opinion, very well positioned for the future is that the platform is designed to easily integrate autonomous trading bots. They already dominate financial markets with more than 80 to 85% of the trades executed on equity trading and also on forex markets. Why? Well, that's quite straightforward. Those bots are online 24/7 to execute trades. They have no emotions and stick to the plan and are also infinite scalable. With the new possibilities of LLMs and also RL models, they constantly improve. So therefore, it's also expected that AI agents will continue to grow in this sector. Why will Propr win this market? Well, Propr has a good edge as it is an API-first product, allowing easy integration while competitors are blocking bots. Propr is built for them. This leads to a higher pass rate as risk rules are enforced perfectly. And also the total addressed market growth, as with AI, it gets way easier to set up your own trading bots without having to know how to trade. So Propr allows you to buy an account for your agent and let it trade on your behalf. This opens up significant additional growth potential for Propr. And right now there are already more than 1,000 bots trading on the platform. I know you've been waiting for this. Now let's move on to the Propr airdrop. As mentioned, Propr is still a very young project with a future token that will be the center of the platform and return value to the community. Currently, a point program is running, and points will be converted into tokens in August. Accordingly to team members, the airdrop right now is brutally underfarmed and will be extremely juicy. So let's see. How to get points? The easiest way is to buy a challenge. Here, $1 spent equals then 10 points. Then trade on this account and you can get more points. Also, referring other people's gets you a share of their points. And also, just stick around. Sometimes there are other opportunities like giveaway, live events, and so on. But what's for sure, no points for the demo paper account, so no need to farm them. There's also a decacy multiplier rewarding early participants. In other words, it's probably smart to start sooner than later if you're interested. So now let's move on to my expectation, and again, this is no financial advice. According to my own calculation, about 10% of the token supply will be airdropped to point holders in August, and this is quite huge. At the valuation of the seed round, this will be around 1.7 million. At the valuation of the public sale, even 4 to 8 millions. And who knows, it might go much higher. With the current adoption, numbers of points distributed on a weekly basis, and only about 100 days left to the drop, I expect that you will get back roughly the money you spent for challenges in Propr token. That is my guess. Let's see. There are other calculations on X saying that a $60 account could get you up to 4K in Propr token, but I'm quite sure they might made some calculation mistakes. Others came to $200, what I think is way more realistic. We will see. At the end, it is very speculative and it depends on how many point holders there will be at the end and also on the market cap that Propr will launch. But I hope you noticed the important part. Not only do I expect that your expenses for the challenges will be covered by the airdrop, but additionally, well, you still get the account, you can trade almost for free and keep 80% of the profits if you're profitable. That's quite an insane opportunity if you think about it. With such young companies, it's always important to ask who's behind it. In this case, it's the team from SwissBorg with a strong track record of success, and they also have proven that they know how to ship solid products. The CEO, as with SwissBorg, is Luis Regis, and by the way, he is streaming every day on X and talking about the latest development at Propr, if you're interested. Additionally, Propr is backed by SwissBorg. With that said, let's briefly talk about risks and things that you should keep in mind. The risk reward setup is quite simple. You cannot lose more money than you pay for the challenge. And if you become profitable, you can withdraw 80% of your profits to your wallet. In other words, you have significant upside potential, but limited downside. This can also be a great way to see if trading is something for you, as you're not risking your own capital while still having the opportunity to make meaningful returns. However, it's also important to say that trading is not something for everyone. Statistics say that about 70 to 80, probably even 90% of traders and also polymarket users are losing in the end. So be aware of that too. Then Propr is a really young startup, so huge opportunity, but this comes also with more associated risks. What I really like about Propr is their transparency. On their transparency page, you can see revenue, expenses, and so on. And in my opinion, this already reduces the risk of a platform failure quite a lot. I think they have a tight risk management and they really know what they're doing. But as you can currently earn airdrop points through purchasing challenges that might recover all or at least some of your costs, and you might also qualify for a hype share back, well, even if your account gets breached, you can be profitable. And this opportunity, that attractive, I think don't come around that often. But again, no financial advice, do your own research. By now, you should better understand why that I think that Propr is really a unique opportunity. So let's move on. How to get started. As I've said in the beginning, by using my referral code either here in the description below or also with this QR code, you can't really miss it. And afterwards DMing me your account name and also your wallet address, I'll send you a 7.5% cashback on your purchases. You spend $200, I send you 15 bucks. Sounds like a deal, right? After signing up, you can choose your challenge. There are accounts ranging from 5k to 100k, available both in one-step and also two-step challenge modes. And there's also the demo version to see if trading is something for you, but as I've said, no points for the demo version. So if you want to qualify for the airdrop, then you have to purchase real accounts. So let's quickly cover the difference between those challenges. So the one-step challenge, there you have one step, one target, 10%. But the maximum drawdown is 6% and the daily loss limit is 3%. So if you lose on one day more than 3%, your account gets locked. Same if you in total lose more than 6%. So it's important to keep your stop loss tight. The two-step account, who would have thought, there it takes 2 steps to pass the challenge. So first you have to prove that you're able to make 5% gains and after that 10% gains. This is in a paper account, so you're not yet trading with real money. The real money only comes after you pass this challenge. Then on the two-step challenge, you have a maximum drawdown of 8%, but here you have to pay attention. This is tailoring. So if you have a huge spike in your portfolio, your max drawdown moves up, and that's not the case for the one step. But you also have a little bit a bigger room to breathe with a daily loss limit of 5%. So if you're a good trader, probably better take the two-step, and if you're an excellent trader, you should also be fine with the one-step. And if you're neither, well then hope for a juicy airdrop. Both options have no time limit. You can trade over 140 assets with up to a 5x leverage, and once you pass the challenge and generate profit, as I've said already several times, you can at any time withdraw 80% of them to your wallet. So we're at the end, and I hope you have a clear picture what Propr is and why I'm bullish. I'll quickly summarize you again with the TLDR from the beginning. So Propr is positioned in a really fast growing industry. It's solving the industry problem of transparency and alignment with users on a quite unique way. Then Propr has a really strong business case. They already reached a revenue of 100k the first 3 weeks after launch, and that's quite wild. Then there's the underfarmed airdrop. To be honest, expect you get more back in Propr token from the airdrop than you spend by purchasing a challenge. The token flywheel is designed to redistribute value to the ones that really contribute. Then Propr, as I've mentioned, is really built for bots to integrate and opening a huge market. Also, good point. Then it is built on Hyperliquid and right now the biggest prop firm. And if things continue like that, Hyperliquid will take off and Propr hopefully alongside it. Then the Polymarket integration is around the corner and should also open a broad new user base. The next point really excites me because Propr is not only a normal prop firm, but at the same time they're building the most advanced, or at least I hope so, operation system for other prop firms, so that prop firms and already leading competitors have reached out to them, will be able to use the tech stack from Propr for their own operations. Then Propr is right now also in a VC race, and well, mostly it's smart to get in before such kind of deals are announced. And then last but not least, the team that is solid and has a proven track record. So I hope this was helpful. And now the question, what's next? So do you have any uncertainties, questions or wishes for next videos? I was thinking about a tutorial in setting up a Propr account, showing the differences between a one-step and also a two-step account, or also a walkthrough to this transparency page. Or what also could be quite interesting is a deep dive into the Propr token and also the airdrop. Let me know below in the comments what is most interesting to you, then I can prioritize. Then I also recommend you, of course, following me on X and also on YouTube so you don't miss any updates, and who knows, there might be also some giveaways in future. With that said, thanks a lot for sticking around with me until the end. Have a lovely day. I hope to see you soon. Bye.